turn inward at this early hour of a new day. Shoulders drop down the back, heart lifts, sitting bones root down, belly gently kind of lifts up, and the pelvic floor gently floats up and away from the mat, just a little if you can find that this morning, so that there is already in our initial seated position, sthiram and sukha, effort or ease and effort. Sthiram and sukha, effort and ease, effort and ease. Shoulders down. Any hand position or arm position will be fine. And when you're ready, after you've gotten yourself positioned, after you've gotten yourself settled, find your breath. Let the inhalation fill you up, expand you, wake you up, and let the exhalation soften you, give you a sense of letting go, of release, maybe even surrendering something that either you've had a grasp on or has had a grasp on you that you'd like to let go of. I'm just going to share with you, I have been reading from this book of blessings, and there is one for a blessing for waking. And since we are kind of awakening together, I'm going to read this at the beginning and the end of this practice today. So as you check in with yourself, as you see how you are, just let these words float over you and receive them. Take what works for you, right? This is a blessing on waking, John O'Donohue. I give thanks for arriving safely in a new dawn, for the gift of eyes to see the world, the gift of mind to feel at home in my life, the waves of possibility breaking on the shore of dawn, the harvest of the past that awaits my hunger, and all the furtherings this new day will bring. So with those words floating over you, just take a moment to feel and experience all that is here right now. No judgment, no analysis, simply felt experience as you awaken to this new day. Let the chin and the jaw soften, let the cheeks and the eyes soften. Let creases smooth out of the forehead. Feel how rooted and supported you are. Feel how light and lifted you are. And if anything feels important to acknowledge as an intention, and an intention can even be to simply be intentional in every moment, or to just be here. Or perhaps there's a phrase or a word that is guiding you into this year, this day, this practice, or just this moment. Maybe there's a visual representation of it that you can conjure in your mind's eye. Your own practice, your own journey on your own mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Let them float up as you inhale. Can you feel them? Yeah, the breath lifts them up. Yeah. Palms together. Hands here at your heart. Thumbs gently touch the sternum as you lift the heart into the sternum. Vibrate the sound of Om one time. You can do this. Last week we were doing this, just these silent Oms, which can be pretty powerful, or you can sing out your Om. Inhale deeply. Let your hands float down on either side of you and feel all of your fingers make contact either with your mat or the floor. And as your fingers reach down, can you feel a pull across the collarbones, the heart, the shoulder blades dropping down, the back of the neck long, crown of the head reaching up, sitting bones rooting down. Feel the effort and ease of just being here in this seated position, grounded and lifted at the same time. And then when you're ready, if your eyes are closed, open your eyes, let out a sigh, like a big open mouth sigh. Ah. And make your way to child's pose, to balasana, To start this new week, this new month of practice, even if you were here on Tuesday, which I know was already in the month of January, this is our first full week of the new year. So separate your knees, let the tops of the feet stretch. And if you need to take your hand to the kind of the middle of the foot and pull the flesh back so that there's more of a connection, you can do that. Reach the arms out, sink the sitting bones down towards the heels and reach the tailbone back behind you. Walk your fingertips forward. So make this a really active balasana. Let your head rest on the mat or on a block, depending on what it can reach. And this is another opportunity to see what's present in the body. For me, personally, I've been doing some pretty hard workouts and I feel it here, stretching out. I didn't really feel it seated, but it's good to know all that is here in the body as the result of all that you've been involved in. Give this 4 breaths here, just 4 big, even, easeful breaths. Inhaling to fill up. And exhaling, can you completely empty? The belly really pulls to the spine. The ribs really hug you. The forearms really rest on the mat. The face stays relaxed, even in this active child's pose, this active breathing. Take some patience to have these 4 full breaths before we get to move. Notice if you're eager to move, if you're okay with this. And then after you have those 4 breaths, just walk your hands over to the right and let your left side get long, stretched, heavy, open. The forehead can come back to the mat. You can push your heels of your hands into the mat to send your sitting bones more towards your heels and find something new in the simplest of movements. And then walk your hands to the center and over to the other side. And this time, push the heels of the hands out. Drop your sitting bones to your heels. Forehead comes down. Space in between the ribs, in between the rib cage and the waist. Maybe this side feels a bit different than the other. I'm sure it does. Good. And then the hands come back to the center. And while you're still in child's pose, although if you need to get up and lift the hips a little higher, you can. But if you can, while you're still in child's pose, take your right hand, slide it under the left armpit. Turn your gaze to the left and put the right side of your head on the mat, pulling your shoulder away from the ear and putting a little bit of pressure on that shoulder, a little bit of weight. Still sending the hips back behind you, and that left arm can be really active. And then unwind. The right arm reaches up and the left arm now comes underneath the right. Find the twist in this direction. Hips are level. Rib cage is twisting. Waist is twisting a little bit. Push your right hand into the mat, maybe pushing the heel away from you to activate the right arm. Good. Come to the center. Lift yourself to a tabletop position. Put your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips, patting your knees if you'd like, for a little bit of ease if the knees get uncomfortable pressing into the hard floor. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Notice we're starting with very simple moves. Inhale, as if you were in a barrel. Fill the body with the breath. Try to fill that whole imaginary barrel with the rib cage and the belly. Make yourself big. Exhale, make yourself small. Hug everything in. Inhale, lengthen the tailbone behind you. Lift your heart. Drop your heart a little bit, but not your belly. And then round back. Tailbone drops towards the mat. Lift the back of the heart up. Send the sitting bones back to the heels. Good. Bend your elbows. Pull your heart through. Lift your heart up. Round the back body. Exhale. Send the sitting bones back towards the heels, maybe all the way to the heels. Bend your elbows. Draw your heart through. One more time. Round back. Hips to the heels. Elbows soft, heart comes through. Feel the pull in the front of the body. Neutral spine. Extend the right leg out behind you. Rock the heel forward and back, forward and back. Shift your weight just a little so that you can lift the right leg off the mat. Float the right leg off the mat, just the right leg. And then bend your knee in, but instead of bringing your knee and nose together, try to bring your knee to your right elbow. Towards it, maybe it touches it, and then send it back. Good, there might be a little squeeze in the side body. All right, let's do that again. Pull the knee in towards the elbow. This time, if you'd like, slide the knee towards the wrist. Woo! Pull it up to the elbow and send it back. That's different. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, pull the knee towards the elbow. Drop the knee towards the wrist. Keep your arms long. Lift the knee to the elbow. Drop the knee to the wrist. Lift the knee to the elbow and send it back. Behind you, that leg. Nice. Bring the knee down. Lift yourself to a standing kneeling position. Bring the backs of the hands together, just like this, and just pull them up in front of the heart. That can be a lot on the wrists, and then pull them back down, or push them down, I should say. Hands come back. Extend the left leg behind you. Rock the heel forward and back. Effort and ease. Ease with yourself wherever you are, and not creating this whole big story. I'm not strong enough. I can't do that. Blah, blah, blah. Just effort with ease, knowing that you do have the strength to do whatever it is that you're doing today. That's all you need. Inhale and exhale. Good. So now the left knee comes to the left elbow. Good. And goes back. Nice. Don't gear up for it just because you know what's on this side. Just be in the moment. Knee to the elbow. Knee to the wrist. Woo! Knee to the elbow and back. One side might be harder than the other. Good. Knee to the elbow. Knee down towards the wrist. You might have to bend your elbows a little bit. Knee up. Knee down. Knee up. Oh, I don't like this. Extend back. And knee comes down. Good. Lift yourself to that lifted kneeling position and just flick your fingers out a little bit. So you're going to put your thumbs on your nails and then you're going to flick that out. Whew. Good. Arms by your side. Send your right foot forward so that you come into a lunge. You can have your hands on blocks if you'd like. We're going to lift up off the mat though, so you don't really need the blocks. Put your hands on your front thigh and then reach your arms out and just lay the right side of your body over your thigh. And then hug underneath your thigh. Good. Imagine the right heel and left knee coming together. And then send your arms out. Keep your chest down. Good. Strengthening the back body. This is a little strong. Now, whatever arm wasn't on top, if you remember, put that on the top. Hug again. And lift up. Good. And press the right foot into the mat. Reach the arms up and over your head. Bring your hands down now to the mat or to your blocks and gently stretch the right leg back. Pull the toes back towards you. Good. Come into your lunge. Lift yourself up. Send the right knee back to meet the left. Let out some sound, whatever it is. Hugging the ribs around you, send the left foot forward. Good. Establish yourself here. You don't need to put the hands down unless you need to put the hands down, then do it. Good. From here, you're going to lay more to the left side, the left rib cage, the left side of the chest to the thigh, and give yourself that hug underneath the thigh. Really hug. Imagine the left heel and the right knee coming together. Stay down, release the arm. So strengthening the back body. Good. Other arm comes in front. Hug yourself. Hug your leg. Good. And lift up. Stay here. Push into the mat. Woo. Reach the arms up. Hands come down, a little stretch to the left leg. Good. Y'all look good today. Pull the toes back. Drop the foot. Good. Press the foot into the mat, the back shin into the mat. Lift yourself up. Left knee comes to meet the right. Big breath out, big sigh out. Hands come down to the mat. Tuck your toes under and lift yourself up into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Pedal your feet. If you have a blanket on your mat, you might move it off. If it's going to get in your way, we don't need it right now. Pedal your feet. Rock your hips. Good. Heels melt down. Can you just very subtly and gently pull your elbows down and towards each other, towards the midline? Good. So that your armpits roll in just a little bit. The head hangs. Can you let your head get heavier? Can you let your tailbone get lighter? Can you feel the effort in this posture? I bet you can. Can you feel some ease here? Just have a really sweet next breath. And then as if you were doing a cat stretch, round the back body, and pull yourself forward until you then unfurl the body into a plank position. So feel your plank. Don't just think about plank. Sometimes we're like, oh, I hate plank so much. And that's the first thing that comes to you. That's okay. But instead of just thinking that, what does it really feel like to be in this shape? Your knees can come down. Your forearms can come down. Feel it. Close your eyes for a moment and feel it. Good. And then press yourself back to that down dog. Where do you feel relief? And then where do you feel engagement again? Inhale and exhale here. Woo. And is some heat starting to come up? Belly pulls to the spine. Lengthen the tailbone. Curl yourself. Or unfurl. I don't know. Furl and unfurl yourself. It's a fun word to say, and a fun imagery, that furling and unfurling. What does this plank feel like? Pull the belly spine, come back to downward facing dog. Woo! This time we're going to come into plank again, believe it or not. Believe it. Round up and pull forward. Good. Now we're going to bring the knees down. Untuck the toes. Now we're going to lower the heart, forehead to the mat. And bring the arms by your sides and just shake them out a little bit. Interlace the fingers behind you. This upper back body really could use all the efforts to strengthen it that we can give, because we're just never, when we're off our mats, paying that much attention to it. So press the tops of your toes to the mat and lift your heart and pull the arms away from you a little bit and pull the belly away from the mat a little bit and take 3 breaths. Nice. Lower down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up and send your hips back, coming to Balasana, which is typically thought of as a rest posture. Does it feel restful for you or not? If it doesn't, maybe you find another posture that does feel restful for the next 4 breaths. So Sthira and sukham, we want some ease along with all the effort. Good. From here, bring yourself to a tabletop. Tuck the toes under and walk the feet in. So don't even come to down dog. Come to a forward fold. Let the head hang and take each elbow in the opposite hand, cradling it and lengthening the body, letting the head also feel heavy. Now notice where the weight is in your feet. And how much can you even that out? So if it's mostly in the heels and the outer edges, can you bring it to the ball of the foot and the inner edges as well? Sway your arms side to side. Anchored by your feet, let your upper body really have a little bit of a free time here. Good. Release the hands. Press your feet into the mat. Good. Roll yourself up. Head drops down. Roll up. Woo. Shoulders come onto the back. Good. Arms come down by your sides. Just open your eyes and just see what is around you. So our practice focuses on what's within us, right? But it's nice to kind of also acknowledge your environment, which acts upon you. So I just stood up and saw a squirrel on my neighbor's fence and someone walking by. So here I am, tuned into this moment while in the world, which is another kind of juxtaposition of opposites that we always are looking at in our practice. Step to the top of your mat. Reach your arms up. So strength, we always think of sun salutations being a lot about strength. So we're going to do a few of those. Hands come down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Let's take both feet back to a plank and give it 2 breaths. We did a few of these on last Thursday, I know. Got to get our 108 in. It may take us a few months. Knees can come down or they can stay up as you lower to or towards the mat. And then your heart opener. Would you like to do Sphinx? Would you like to do Up Dog? Would you like to do Cobra? You decide. Do you know what those are? Sphinx is right here. I know you do. Cobra is a little low and Up Dog is a little high. Come back to downward facing dog. Heels melt to the mat. And for a little extra added strength, imagine that you could really grip the mat even more with your hands. Fingertips. Make a little bit of a space, like just beyond the mound of the thumb, like lift that off the mat. So it's like you could just curl up your mat in your hands or scrunch it up. Bend your knees and do a little hop forward. Good. As much as you're willing to do. Do another hop forward. If you can get any hang time in there, that's fine. Another hop until you're in your forward fold. What did that feel like hopping? We don't usually do that in this practice. Lift your heart halfway, fold forward. But what does it feel like? Press your feet into the mat, reach the arms up and overhead. Building some heat, hands come in. Let's do another one of those right away. Reach the arms up and overhead. Fold forward. Crease at the hips. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Feet come back to plank. Down with the knees or not, lower down. Your heart lifts. Belly stretches. Feel that strength right behind the heart. Back to downward facing dog. Oof. Let's do some wake up kicks while we're here. Lift your right leg up. 3 kicks on this side. Big sounds. Lower the leg. Left leg lifts up. 3 kicks, just 3. Good. Foot comes down. Look between your hands, soften the knees, and take hops. So you could do this all in 1 hop. You could do it in 2 or 3 hops, but get your feet towards your hands. And even if you're doing like 10 hops and you're kind of afraid to hop, do a little one. See that you can do it. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Press your feet into the earth. Sweep the arms up and overhead. Palms together, hands to your heart. So we feel kind of the heated energy of the sun when we do these sun salutations. Now turn and face the long edge of the mat and stand right in the middle of your mat. So this week, we're celebrating Kevin's birthday. And you guys will really love Kevin when I tell you this. Kevin Taggart in El Paso. I know we have 2 Kevins in the class. The Kevin's requested moon salutations. So Kevin's your hero today because I know everyone loves those. And it's a great counter to see how we can have strong yet softer energy doing these salutations, moon versus sun. So stand facing the short edge of the mat, reach your arms up and overhead. Happy birthday, Kevin. Stretch over to the right. Good. Come back to the center. Still strong, but a little bit different energy. Stretch over to the left. Good. Come back to the center. Step your feet wide. Find that squat, sink down. Good. And then lengthen your legs. Find that star. Good. Turn your right toes to the short edge of the mat. Left toes to the long edge of the mat. Arms come down. Reach forward. Utthita Trikonasana. Lift yourself up. Open your heart. So feel that across the heart. We're going to come back to that opening for some other things, but really notice that opening across the heart. And then turn towards your right foot for Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Let the head hang. Plant your hands. Pull the left hip forward and the right hip back. Inhale and exhale. Bend your right knee. Find that lunge. Make it a good lunge. So really spread out the feet, lift your heart a little bit. Now you will walk towards the long edge of the mat. You'll stay as low as you'd like. So kind of that crawl over until you have your hands on either side of the left foot and the right heel lifts up. Give this a breath or two. Notice the difference. You're not doing nothing, right? It's quite a bit, but it's very different than that sun salutation. Lengthen the left leg, pull the left leg in for Parsvottanasana. Head hangs. Now your left toes are already towards the short edge of the mat. Turn your right toes to the long edge of the mat and let your left arm drape up the left leg as the right arm reaches over. I know this is Kevin's favorite part of the sun salutation or moon salutations too. Open your heart, or it once was. Inhale and exhale. Good. Press your feet into the mat. Come to that star shape. Sink down to your squat. Good. Bring the feet together. Reach the arms up. Stretch over to the left. Come back to the center. Stretch over to the right. Come back to the center. Hands come to your heart. Pause for a moment. We come back and finish the cycle by starting on the other side. Reach the arms up. Stretch over to the left. Come back to the center. Stretch over to the right. Come back to the center. Separate your feet. Find that squat. Sink down. Feel the strength in your lower body and then expand into a star. Right toes to the long edge of the mat. Left toes to the short edge of the mat. Utthita Trikonasana. Open up. Good. Turn towards that left leg. Good. Left hip pulls back. Right hip pulls forward. Find your lunge. Bend your left knee. Extend that right leg back. Walk to the long edge of the mat. Come all the way around. Find your lunge. Pause for a moment to feel your lunge and then extend both legs, pyramid pose. Turn your left toes to the long edge of the mat. Let your right arm drape up or flow up. Yeah, your right leg, left arm reaches up. This looks good. Press your feet into the mat. Come up. Big star. Drop down. Big squat. Feet come together. Arms reach up. Crescent shape to the right. Come back to the center. Crescent shape to the left. Yeah. Come back to the center. Hands to the heart. Pause for a moment. Notice the energy that's here. Feel the strength that it takes just to stand. Notice the pace of your breath. And when you're ready, you can say, just as you are, I'm going to turn so you can see. Sink your hips down. Come to Utkatasana, chair posture, which really is nice and strengthening for your legs. Send your hips back. Hands hard. We'll do another round of moon salutations on Thursday, just keeping the birthday celebration going. And then next week is actually the full moon, so we'll do some more then too. So with your tailbone long, heart lifted, reach your arms by your ears and spin your arms a little bit so your palms turn to face up, and then pull your shoulder blades down the back a little more. Lift your heart. Let's give this 4 breaths. Toes together, legs together as much as you can, heels slightly apart. Feel yourself building your strength. Good. Then bring the arms down by your sides and back behind you. Sometimes this is called diver's pose. It's not really a name of an asana. Lift your hips, lift your heels like you're about to dive into a pool. Good. Of warm water if you're in a cold place right now. Good. And then drop your heels, come back to Utkatasana, come back to your chair, believe it or not. Hands to the heart. Shift your weight to the right foot, hug your ribs around you to make the left leg light, and cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Sink down. Woo. Good. You maybe lift your arms up if you want a little more strengthening. Good. Hands to the heart. Drop your left foot down. You can come out or stay in. See what happens. Shift your weight. Believe that you can do it. See what happens. Open your knee. Reach your arms up. Yeah, good. Nice. One more breath. Foot comes down. Now lengthen the legs. Feel all of that. Release and relief. Fold forward. Whoa. Lift up halfway. Fold forward. Plant your hands. Walk your feet back to plank. Listen here. Bring your right knee to your right elbow. Oof. Remember what we did back in tabletop? Put it back. Left knee to left elbow. Oof. Put it back. All right. You might know where we're going with this. Right knee to right elbow. Right knee to right wrist. Oof. Right knee to right elbow. Send it back. We'll just do one more side. Lift it. Left knee to left elbow. Left knee to left wrist. Left knee to left elbow. Take it back. Knees down. Lower down. Arms by your sides. Let's all come to Shalabhasana, locust pose. Lift your heart. Belly pulls away from the mat. Notice what that did to your heart rate. It took mine up. Just doing that knee thing. Lower down. Hands under the shoulders. Come back to Balasana. Stretch back. Knees can be apart or together. If you want, you can put your block under your head. This makes your child's pose potentially a little more active because you can really make your arms nice and active. And when my head, for me, when the head's on the block, I can pull my sitting bones back a little more, I feel like. So you might consider that. One more breath. Good. Come to tabletop and downward facing dog. Walk your feet to your hands. So walk slowly. You'll feel some strength, different than the strength when we hop. Lift up halfway and fold forward. Press your feet into the earth. Sweep the arms up and over your head. Hands come into the heart. Step wide on your mat, facing the long edge. Spin your right toes to the short edge. Find warrior two. Nice. Bring your right forearm to your right thigh. Lift your left arm up. Send your left arm back behind you. Maybe wrap it around the waist. If you like to bind here, you can. You could hold your hands or you can drop your strap between your hands. See what you feel like. Pull your heels towards each other and then unwind. Reach up. Lengthen your right leg. Turn your toes to the center. Turn your left toes to the short edge of the mat. Warrior two. Nice. Bring your right forearm, or left forearm to your left thigh. Lift your right arm up. Take your right arm around. Wrap it around the waist. Maybe you bind. See where you go. Look, these look good. Keep your hearts open, and you are. That's nice. Inhale and exhale. Jaw is relaxed. Good. Come back up. Warrior two. Lengthen your left leg. Turn your toes in. And just give yourself a couple of hugs with opposite arm on top. Good. The next time the right arm's on top, leave it there. And if you want, you can do eagle arms. Let's see what happens. Swing again. Yep. And when the left arm's on top, you can see if you can do eagle arms. Good. Reach out. Nice. Heel, toe your feet together. Arms by your sides. Pause for a moment. Let's put one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Close your eyes. And notice what's happening. Arms by your sides. Take one of your blocks and place it over to the right side of your right foot. So we've done chair, we've done eagle arms, we've done a lot of shoulder stuff. You can kind of guess where this is going. Sink your hips down. Hug your ribs around you. Lift your left leg, float it off the mat. Let it be real light. And lift it as high as you can cross the thighs, and then place your foot on the block. Or if you're able to, wrap your left foot behind your right calf. Squeeze. And then wherever you are, lift your heart again. And come back over to the center. So I'm leaning a little to the right. Push into either your leg if you're wrapped or that block if you're not wrapped. Right elbow in front, left elbow underneath, Garudasana. Nice and strong. Good. If you want to lift that foot now off the block and bring it towards the leg, you can do that. Feels a little different. Good. Take 3 breaths here. Really nice and strong. Maybe you're balancing well today. Maybe it's all over the place. Doesn't matter. Unwind into that star shape that was part of our moon salutation. Interlace your fingers over your head, soften your knees as if you were chopping wood, let out a big huh. Huh. And reach up. Just one, reach the arms out. I know you want to do more. You can do more. Heel toe your feet together. Block comes to the left side of the left foot. Big sigh out. Utkatasana, chair. Lift your heart. Lift your right leg. Lift it as high as you can. The higher you cross that leg, the more leg will be available to wrap. But you may or may not wrap. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Let your hips soften out and stay here. Maybe you then lift the foot off. You can see how you feel. If the right leg's on the top, the left arm's going to be on the top. So left arm over the right. Find your Garudasana arms. Maybe you take your foot off the block. And just know that whatever you're doing, whatever this looks like for you, it's exactly right. And so where's some ease here? I know you're probably putting forth a lot of effort. Where's the ease? Good. Did you find it? One more breath. Unwind everything. Make a star shape. Interlace your fingers. Now you get to hug again. Lift your heart, soften the knees, chop some imaginary wood, make a sound. Lift up. Good. Arms by your sides. Heel, toe your feet together. Let that block move off to the side. Step to the top of the mat. And those of you who've been practicing with me for a long time, just noticing maybe today and every day, if you'd like, the changes in your strength, the changes in your focus, the changes in your flexibility that come from a consistent practice. Sink down, Utkatasana, and keep going until you are in a toe stand, if you can. Otherwise, sit on a block or the mat. Reach your arms up. Good. And then if you are in that toe stand, lower your heels, land lightly on your sitting bones, and just everyone, some expression of boat. We'll work more on boat on Thursday. So you have that to look forward to. Lift your heart. And then lower everything down onto the mat. Reach your arms over your head. Inhale and let out a big sigh. Good. Lower your arms down. Bend your knees. Whew. Arms come out from your shoulders a little bit. Float your feet off the mat and take your hands to your thighs. So you look like that chair that fell over. The hands are pressing into the thighs. Now press your thighs into your hands and press your low back into the mat. And as you do that and feel what engages, find some ease too. Where can you find ease? Maybe it's in the eyelashes. I don't know. In the breath. In your feelings towards this. Give this a few more breaths. It's an isometric move. So we're not moving any levers, but we're engaging muscles. 3 more breaths. Hug your knees in. Wow. Open up your arms, drop your knees over to the right. So a nice, releasing, simple twist. Why don't you decide what kind of twist would be best for you right now? You can look in the same direction as the legs, or you can look in the opposite direction. Relax your jaw. Maybe you close your eyes for a moment. Squeeze the legs together, come back to the center. And place your feet on the mat just so that you can realign the spine, and let's hug the knees and just release that before we go to the other side, and even rock side to side on the back body. Place your feet on the mat. Arms come out, knees drop to the other side. And again, you decide how you really express this twist and where you look and where the arms are, what would feel good for you. You know. Let a few breaths come and go. Good. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Come back to the center. Hug your knees in. Realign the spine. Rock a little bit side to side. Oof. Just acknowledge your strength, your awareness, your flexibility, and your ability to experience effort and ease. Let your legs unbend a little bit and find happy baby, knees to the armpits. Kick up a heel and then the other. Rock a little bit side to side. Good. Hug the knees in. Extend the body on the mat. Shake everything out. Maybe you make some sounds. Inhale. Exhale yourself into the support of the floor and the earth underneath you, and feel your heaviness as you sink down. And then notice the lightness that's here as well. And give yourself this time, really important time in the practice, to relax, restore, and just breathe. Keeping your eyes closed. Deepen and lengthen your breath. Awareness coming back to this moment, the sensations in the mind and the body, the energy, the vibration. Wiggle fingers and toes. Circle the hands, circle the feet. Reach the arms over your head. Exhale and hug the knees into you and rock a little bit side to side. Roll to one side and gently press yourself back to a seated position, taking your time as you do so. Gathering what you need for the day ahead. You might just let yourself know what that is, and I'll share this blessing once again. Bring your hands to your heart or really anywhere that they feel comfortable. I give thanks for arriving safely in a new dawn, for the gift of eyes to see the world, the gift of mind to feel at home in my life, the waves of possibility breaking on the shore of dawn, the harvest of the past that awaits my hunger, and all the furtherings this new day will bring. Let's vibrate the sound of Om one time together, however you'd like to do it. Inhale deeply. Om.